Stand-up comedian Paula Poundstone is in Madison tonight.
She's doing one show only, 8 o'clock tonight at the Overture Center.
Our Michael Bruno had the opportunity to talk to Paula before the big show. Here's their conversation.
Paula, we're very excited to have you back in Madison. You have a huge fan base here. People really love you and they love your humor. And I know you're on tour now. And what's it like coming back to the Midwest?
It's great. I started back to work in June. Well, that's not. I started back to doing concerts in June, and I've been back and forth to the Midwest a few times now. You know what? I love audiences. The audience is my best friend, which I'm sure is a really mentally healthy thing to say, but it's just true. So there, and I have just had the best time.
Any little the tidbits you can give us of we're gonna see at the Overture Center?
Oh, I don't know what you're gonna see at the Overture Center, but you know what? I have to show you something here. I realized, at home, I have a tripod and it holds the silly, stupid iPhone whenever I have to do any Zoom thing, but I don't have that here, which is why the camera keeps wiggling because I'm just holding it in my hand. But that makes it possible for me to show you this about my hotel room. Okay, so I'm staying in this hotel, and as you can see, it's sort of like when Dorothy was in Kansas. It's all gray and black and very depressing. But look, all right, so say you come in the door, right, here's the door. I come in the door this way, and there's this little bench right here. Like, why? Who on earth comes into the hotel room and can't make it into the little living room area? And they're like, oh my God, I'll be in a minute. I just don't understand who sits on this little bench thing. Or do you have guests in and you say, oh, welcome, have a seat right here? It just doesn't make any sense at all. So for anybody who's a interior designer, you might want to just sketch that out. Beautiful, isn't it? The thing about my act is that my favorite part of it is just talking to the audience in front of me. I do the time-honored, where you're from, what do you do for a living? And in this way, little biographies of audience members emerge. And I use that from which to set my sails. And so the truth is, I don't always know what I'm going to do. I wait and figure it out as I go along.
That's kind of the joy of doing it too. It's kind of like doing improvisational work because you don't really know what's going to happen, and your audience changes all the time.
Yeah, no two shows are alike. I mean, people, I don't know. It's like having a conversation. There are some staples of a conversation that we all are used to. Hi, how are you? Good enough, thanks. And you? All right, good. So there are things like that move things along in a traditional way. I may tell a story that I've told before. There may be something that occurs in the moment that's unique just to that night. It's a mixture of those things. So I view it as a conversation. And yet I never say to somebody, nobody ever says, oh, I enjoyed your conversation. You were so improvisational. It's just how we talk. We think of things in the moment and then we say it. And sometimes we keep going back to that thing because we're so amused by it.
Thank you for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. And you enjoy the rest of your wonderful hotel room while you're there in New York.
Yeah. And you know what? Before we go any further, I want you to just have a seat right here. I'll be with you.
All right, Paul, let it go. She's at the Capitol Theater at the Overture Center tonight at 8 o'clock. Go to overture.org for tickets.
And Michael will join us live later in the show. He's going backstage tonight to preview Verona High School's production of the musical Xanadu. That's